Caitlin Clark's golf debut just made me so upset with the WNBA.
The WNBA is currently experiencing instant regret, which is, to be honest, entertaining to watch because, let's face it, the LPGA just stepped in and showed them how Caitlin Clark truly deserves to be handled. It wasn't her fault that I became irate.
It is no fault of hers that I got upset. It is the fault of the WNBA because the LPGA just did everything that the WNBA should have been doing this season. They did it all correct in literally one day.
The LPGA gave Clark the red carpet and gave her everything she deserved while the WNBA sits there chewing on their fingernails and probably wondering how they screwed up so badly.
Now, from this event, I have only seen and heard of positive things. I didn't hear one thing about how her fans are toxic. I didn't hear one thing about there being too much spotlight on Caitlin Clark and it should have maybe been on the professional golfers that are there. We didn't hear any of that. And those are the types of things that we have been hearing for the entirety of the WNBA season.
Whether she is sinking putts or draining threes, her admirers can't get enough of her. Her fans virtually yelled for a televised special just to watch her swing a club after she recently lit up a pro golf event.
Originally wasn't even going to be televised, but there were so many fans who were emailing the organization saying, how can we watch Caitlin? Can we come to the event?
After noticing Electric Buzz's star power, the LPGA made an offer that no rational person would refuse. Meanwhile, Kathy Angelbert and her so-called league are stuck eating humble pie since they mishandled their biggest star and let her shine elsewhere.
So the LPGA event is expanding its pro-am coverage around Caitlin Clark's participation. Golf Channel's Golf Today will begin 90 minutes early on Wednesday and include live look-ins. It has also been said that you will get to see Caitlin Clark's warm-up.
And naturally, the LPGA, being the marketing geniuses that they are, seized the chance, including Clark. The unstoppable force of women's basketball in a golf event was like finding a secret marketing secret that no one knew they needed. The entire situation quickly became a gold mine that even the most upbeat event planners could not have imagined.
The LPGA tour had Caitlin Clark play, and the LPGA, fans, the event was taken over by the ominous crowd that made sure to go get angry at everything Caitlin Clark did.
This is where the humor starts. There was not even a hint of a plan to broadcast Caitlin's appearance on television prior to the event, but Clark's army of fans took to social media to demand that every swing she made be broadcast on television. The LPGA, not being fools, listened, made a last-minute call that changed everything, and they rushed to get it on TV and watched as their crazy gamble paid off beyond belief. As a result, the prom event went from being just another quiet day on the greens to a must-see headline-grabbing sensation.
So there are photos of Caitlin and Nelly literally everywhere, and the LPGA was so smart in doing this because they knew that there would be so many eyeballs on Caitlin. So if they put their number one golfer, who is currently leading the sport and pushing the sport ahead, if they put her next to Caitlin for the entire event, that's just great. It's great for Nelly and it's great for everyone else.
Let's now discuss how one basketball player managed to steal the show from every other women's sport by entering a golf course. Thanks to Clark's magic touch, Caitlin's performance was so captivating that it thrust the LPGA into the spotlight, which is typically reserved for sports that are truly spoken about. Her golf stroke combined with that, alluring from ardent basketball fans to casual viewers. Charisma generated such a strong buzz that you could almost feel it through your phone screen.
The LPGA, you can see when it came to them that they were happy that Caitlin Clark was there. They knew exactly the value that Caitlin Clark brought.
If you believe that Caitlin and Nelly Korda's combination was a lucky accident, let me tell you that it was actually a brilliant strategic matchup of Clark and Korda. The LPGA knew exactly what they were doing, and the world's best golfer was a marketing playbook. The pictures of them together were so popular that you couldn't scroll through seconds without seeing Caitlin and Nelly's faces plastered all over Instagram and Twitter.
There was so much buzz online, she was trending on Twitter, all of the things. And the LPGA was promoting the crap out of this event.
The way this moment arrived is what's crazy. When Caitlin, the LPGA, executed the ultimate power maneuver, drawing in Clark's massive basketball fanbase and casting a brighter light. People who wouldn't normally watch golf were instantly hooked to their screens. The LPGA's spotlight on COA demonstrated that with the correct strategy, you might captivate a completely new audience and pique their interest.
For the whole event, they saw how important it was that new fans were getting involved in golf, especially women's golf.
And here's where it gets even more interesting. The LPGA wasn't merely riding Caitlin's wave. Rather, they transformed it into a full-fledged masterclass in sports marketing. They weren't concerned with overshadowing others or being cautious. Instead, they welcomed Clark's star power. In a world where women's sports are continuously battling for recognition, the LPGA recently provided a masterclass on how to do it correctly, and it paid off spectacularly.
What she has done for women's sports and basketball, and to have her at our golf tournament, I mean, I'm like in awe. I've got a basketball and hoping she signs it for my girls. But how cool for her to come out and support us this week and only help grow women's.
The LPGA's social media presence during Caitlin Clark's golf debut was a full-on celebration, the kind you'd expect when a rock star shows up at a backyard barbecue. On September 19, 2025, the LPGA practically blew up the internet, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, you name it. They were all buzzing and were talking about a flood of photos featuring Caitlin and Nelly Korda grinning from ear to ear, videos of Clark's golf swing that would probably make Tiger Woods do a double take, and clips of her signing autographs like she was the main attraction at a sports fan's dream festival.
WNBA, when it came to Caitlin Clark, it was a lot of like, we don't need you and we were good before and we don't like your fans. And
however, social media activity skyrocketed as her loyal followers devoured it with videos of Clark's swing garnering millions of views more quickly than you could say. In one instance, Twitter was overflowing with tweets about her, and the #number celebrity scandal was circulating about Clark's golf debut. Because the LPGA knew how to play their marketing cards, people who had never even considered watching golf became enthralled. Meanwhile, these social media posts weren't just attracting attention. They were stealing it, even overshadowing some of the day's biggest men's sports stories. That's what you call a marketing masterclass.
From this event, I have only seen and heard of positive things. I didn't hear one thing about how her fans are toxic. I didn't hear one thing about there being too much spotlight on Caitlin Clark and it should have maybe been on the professional golfers that are there. We didn't hear any of that. And those are the types of things that we have been hearing for the entirety of the WNBA season.
Let's now introduce the WNBA, the league that appeared to have taken a digital vacation during this entire spectacle. While the LPGA was soaking up the hype and essentially bathing in engagement metrics, the WNBA was completely silent. By which I mean that there was not a single tweet or story about Caitlin Clark, even as she was attracting a tidal wave of new fans to women's sports. This wasn't just a marketing blunder. It felt like a massive slap in the face to every diehard WNBA fan who has been rooting for her through all the highs and lows.
They did everything they could to sabotage their own league. And yeah, it backfired. For me anyway, I think it's hard to argue that it didn't completely backfire for them because Caitlin Clark is more popular than ever.
Maybe watch paint dry fact that the WNBA Caitlin Clark isn't just some flash in the pan athlete since her freshman year at Iowa in 2025. She's been a scoring machine, averaging 27.8 points per game, and she's left fans speechless with every highlight. You'd think the WNBA would be all over her, right? Especially.
But the WNBA posted nothing. Zero. Posted zero about Caitlin Clark golfing in this Pro-Am event.
For a long time, critics have conjectured that the NBA's hesitation to hype up Clark stems from a concern that focusing too much on one player might upset the league's existing stars. It's a completely nonsensical approach in today's sports world, where star power is everything. For example, the NBA has established its empire by integrating superstars like LeBron James and Steph into the cultural zeitgeist, while the WNBA's conservative approach is increasingly appearing to be a holdover from a bygone era.
And this was the perfect opportunity for the WNBA to do, like, have you seen it when an NBA player or a football player like goes to an NBA game or goes to wherever and they'll be in the comments or they'll just say something like something cute? This was the perfect time for the WNBA to also be posting about it.
Everyone is aware that the WNBA is harming itself by ignoring Clark's impact. Caitlin Clark is more than just a player. She is a walking, talking shooting brand with over 750,000 social media followers and a fan base that could breathe new life into any sports league. However, the WNBA acts as though promoting her would trigger some sort of doomsday scenario, which is hurting the league and could have an impact on future stars like Paige Buers, who will soon join it. If the league can't figure out how to leverage someone as game-changing as Clark, what hope is there for the next generation?
If you look at the LPGA Twitter account, it is filled with Caitlin Clark things. Photos of her, a whole video of the fans cheering her, signing things, taking photos, their players hanging out with Caitlin, and obviously they're showing their golfers as well.
Even sports analysts are tired of it. In June 2025, John Hollinger of The Athletic published a damning piece criticizing the WNBA for failing to capitalize on the Caitlin Clark effect. He drew attention to the league's stagnant viewership figures and emphasized how the LPGA was outperforming them in the marketing game. According to Hollinger, athletes are starting to notice that the approach that might have worked 10 years ago